All right, good morning, class. Welcome to Fall 2025 for the CSIT 155 class, Social Media for Business. This should be the home page that you see when you open your Canvas. At the bottom, underneath my logo that I made, it should say Class Schedule, Fall 2025, so you can kind of check out and see what we're doing. I may rearrange some things around as we work through the class because we did update it completely this summer. So we're kind of still putting the pieces together, making sure they fit right. So this again is what you should see when you open up, and you can click on that. All right, let's go on to the next part. Be sure to take a look at the course syllabus because it's got all kinds of things. Some of them are the same on all your classes. Some of them tell a little bit about this specific class or this department, so you can just kind of run through it. Email me if you have any questions. I haven't set up the office hours yet. I'm going to kind of, again, a feel for what's going on. Here's some important semester dates. Obviously, today's first day of class, and there's certain holidays, and September 1st is Labor Day, so it's a day off. So that week we'll get your assignments on the 2nd. We don't have a textbook this semester, which is why we rewrote the class to get rid of that. Although I see the school bookstore has one listed. It's actually a nice little book and isn't very expensive. We have homework in the class, obviously, and most of it is not submitted through Canvas. It's submitted on the blog that we'll work on making tomorrow. Today's kind of a check-in day. I need to make sure everyone's enrolled, or sends me an email or something, although I was having problems with the email the other day. I think the school's been having some computer problems, so hopefully that was tied to that. I put everybody's email address in. Hopefully that made my email program happy, but we'll see. So let's a lot of this ethical content, course pace. I have assignments every week. There's the learning objectives, so on and so on, and basic needs. You can check this out. So let me stop here. So everything is set up in modules. Hang on, if I scroll over here, you can see what I'm checking out here. So the ones that are available to you will show up. I have all the modules, but they're just not visible yet. The CSIT department has a whole set of cool tools that you can do. But to start off the class, I need to check in with email or something so I know you're here and still want to take the class. Then I want you to write a response here, an introduction. I have some questions and things, and then I did a post about myself as well, so you know what I'm coming from. And so this is the assignment thing, and here's where you write your answer to it, but you can write it here too as well. But again, or you can just write back to what I wrote about myself. I won't tell you about that right now because obviously some of you have already read it, which is great. Hang on, let's go to the next slide. Show set up for each module that we're doing. This is the introduction module. So here's the overall prepping for class. We're kind of reviewing the class and the syllabus and class expectations. I'm going to have a weekly check-in since it's an online class. You get some points for that. Little bit about what's contained in the modules. Each module setup will have a video like this explaining what the work is for the week. It's going to go through the slideshow that I put. It's going to have places for discussion where you can ask questions. Sometimes there's a discussion that you can put content in. Most of the homework you do will be on the blog that we set up tomorrow. So there will be extra credit as far as quizzes and tests. I'll tell you about that later. What we cover in the class, I want you to be able to understand how social media works for a business. It's a little bit different than personal use of social media, but you can use them kind of pairing. They don't encourage you to post your business so much on a personal page, but sometimes that's good too. We'll figure out how to choose the right platforms for business because not all of them work the same way, how important timing and scheduling is. Um, we'll do some research. Research is good to keep up with current trends and also to see what other people in the same field that your business is in are doing, what they're doing well, what they're not doing well. So you can learn from what they're doing well and what they're doing wrong so you don't make those mistakes. And then listen to your customers. What are they saying about what you're doing? Because they tell you what you need to fix and what you're doing right. And then we'll talk a little bit about analytics too, so you understand what's going on with your marketing that you're doing through social media. We're going to talk about communication between business and consumer, an introduction to social media. I want you to learn how to define your target market. We're going to work on developing your brand and talk about what that entails. We're going to work through some different social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, conversational social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, and many more. And then we're going to talk about advertising, traditional advertising versus social online advertising and social media advertising. And then we'll learn about using other online tools because there's a lot of online tools that are free that you can use. How to set up a marketing campaign and then study how you do that with it. So what I want you to do today is take a look around at the class Canvas. Some of you have already done it. Again, check out the syllabus. Lots of good information in there. Plus, again, like I said, the CSIT department offers a lot of additional help and clubs to join, and you can actually get some extra points if you go to some of the club meetings or something. Homework, because we're an online class, again, I'm going to have you check in each week so I know you're still actively participating. Most of your homework will be posts that you will write on the blog you create. We'll start that in motion tomorrow because writing is so important in social media. You need to get your ideas across so people understand. I'll have you create some business pages on social media. We'll work through some design content so you know how to work with that, and you'll create some social media posts and advertising. And just so you know, oops, I just skipped ahead here. I don't know what great. I don't do tests. If you can make things work for the class, that's the best test you can have because you want to be able to make things work. So, class expectations. I know you wonder about grading. An evaluation for points. The most important thing is your written content that you turn in. That's your, basic thing. And what I like you to do is share your perspective on a lot of topics. I don't want to know what you read on the internet. I mean, you can look things up, but I want to know what you think about things. And because social media is about selling things, so you need to learn how to write well and convince people that you know what you're talking about and whatever your product, your service, or whatever it is something worth using. And then it's important to follow directions I give for the assignment because, if you skip things, then I'm going to take points off for that. And then the writing style in your blog post, I don't want to look and see that generic essay format that you learned in high school. I want you to write like you're writing to me. You're telling me a story. You're explaining, again, your perspective on the topic we're covering. So I want it set up in paragraphs, main ideas with supportive details. That doesn't mean one sentence per paragraph because if I ask for 5 paragraphs, I want at least 5 paragraphs or more as you need to get your idea across. And that, again, doesn't mean one sentence per paragraph. I want you to use punctuation and capitalization to make your post clear and readable so people can look at it and go, okay, I get what you're meaning. But sometimes people turn in content and there's no punctuation, there's no capital letters, it's one giant run-on thing, and it's like, how does that work? And then check for spelling errors. I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but if you can catch it. And just so you know, if everyone could get an A in the class. I'm not saying that your ideas are not as good as someone else's when you're writing. If you can sell me on your perspective on something, I'm all for it. If you do the work that I ask you to do, I'm all for that too. And so I'm not one of those people that, okay, yeah, there can be 5 A's and 6 B's and a big clump of C's and etc. I'm not that kind of person. I like people to succeed at what we're covering in the class. And if you can show me that you're understanding and getting ahead, that's great. We'll set up office hours as needed. If you need help, email me. And hopefully, again, that email will work. And if you get it behind, complete the work anyway. The class kind of builds step by step, so the content's important. If you're missing class or something, I mean, it's all online. We're not going to meet online, really. Maybe occasionally I'll have something that if you want to participate, you can. It's a Zoom meeting or something. But I feel like people who take online classes are usually working or have a busy schedule. So maybe you're working at 1 in the morning, maybe you're working at 1 in the afternoon, wherever fits for you. I know that I work, we have 2 businesses plus this, so I work around that. So if you do decide to drop, let me know. So I don't just stop attending. Just drop the class so you can get a W, or if you drop ahead of time, there's time to know, and you'll get that no W and you'll get your money back. So welcome to the class. I hope you enjoy it, and that's all for now.